All right. Welcome back to Late Night Lately, episode 5. This is not the third time I'm starting this. Let's get on with the jokes because it's pissing me off. The first round of March Madness has begun, breaking records everywhere, and it finally put you on par with that person in the office who keeps taking an extra piece of cake during birthday celebrations in the break room. Oh, God. Trisha, we're on the same level. She doesn't even like Andy. It's not even fair. I saw her go back in there 6 times. Google is said to have canceled remaining payments it owes to workers it recently laid off while they were on maternity and medical leave. Simultaneously, the number one search questions at the Mountain View, California office were both post-birth abortions and can stitches be returned to the hospital for reward. Even though I messed up, I still like that one. A federal grand jury indicted a group of 10 in Athens, Georgia, after police seized enough fentanyl to kill 1.8 million people. Excuse me. Then again, it could have been a couple of slices of Gam Gam sweet potato pie. It's so buttery. It's so buttery here in the South. Everything's buttery. This Hydro Flask is buttery. This mouse, so buttery. Just everything. The phone, buttery. Smooth, as the YouTubers say. Performance. A group of men who were convicted during January 6th have made a singing group in prison and called themselves the J6 Prison Choir. And they asked Trump to record a part for their new song. And guys, he says the N-word so many times. Why was this the time he felt so comfortable? And also, it kind of works. He raps so fast. He's like Eminem. He's just so fast. So I was about to do a verse as Trump as Eminem. Hold on, let's see. Nowadays, everybody's trying to say like. Some days I just want to up and call it quits. I feel like I'm surrounded by a wall of bricks. My Trump is also kind of Robert De Niro. Just a bad version of both. A tick-borne disease called babesiosis is on the rise in the northeast of the United States. And get this, only the hottest women are catching it. All right, that was the monologue. We're done with these jokes. Let's get on with the rest of the show. Well, a big week in terms of late night. Kal Penn hosted The Daily Show for the week. I don't know. I don't think anyone's coming next week, so we're going to have to deal with this right now. Kal Penn is a comedian you might know from the Harold and Kumar series. He's a very funny guy, and as it turns out, we all know this. We all knew this ahead of time. He took some time away he's a smart guy. He took time away from doing anything in the entertainment world to work for Obama, which was something you don't see often. And even now, I can't imagine someone taking time from their career to go into politics. Who's that? Cynthia Nixon, the actress from Sex and the City that wanted to run for governor of New York. I know it wasn't mayor. It was definitely a high point. Good for them. Good for everybody. Everybody's celebrating. Kal Penn did an admirable job. He came out the gate swinging with an interview with Joe Biden, which is something I thought would do loads better on YouTube. But I'm looking at the numbers now, and it did not. It's so interesting how you look at the dichotomy of the numbers and the numbers for YouTube are kind of what matters now versus the numbers for broadcast, for air, what's happening on air, and even more so than TikTok views, because this is where you can watch and Instagram likes and Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that, because this is where you can watch the whole of everything for the show. And if you look at the dichotomy of Kal Penn's numbers, and let's get on this first. Kal did a great job. He's a very affable guy, very funny, and I enjoyed his time with The Daily Show. He talked to people like Pete Buttigieg's husband. Huh. I didn't watch last night's episode yet, so I didn't know he talked to Pete Buttigieg's husband. And Radhika Jones. I clicked on a video by accident, and it looks like he did a house parody as well. I don't know if Hugh Grant was there, and they talked to DC Pearson. They were there with DC Pearson. Okay, and Grover. You got Grover from the Muppets, and Sesame Street, which is a part of the Muppets. He had a good week. See, again, for a lot of these shows, I only watch the monologue, or if there's somebody I'm interested in listening to. But for the interview. But other than that, I just try to get through the monologue and then any bits that they have. But apparently, I missed a couple. Any Hoosers. But if you look, all right. So now let's get to the dichotomy of the views. Marlins were pretty steady when it comes to his what do you call it? Monologue style stuff. He's more of a comedian. I wouldn't say he's like a news personality, which is what the Daily Show needs at this point, is somebody who can handle the news. And I'm not saying that they're going to give the show, like they're going to offer the show to him, really, truly anybody that's guest hosting right now. But let's pretend that that's the plan. And if you look at Kal Penn's numbers, they're slightly lower. They're slightly lower, but Marlon's been off for a week, and those numbers have a chance to grow. But that being said, no one's going to go back and watch a week-old monologue. Let's just say let's just add 10 or 20,000, if anything. But then you look at somebody like Hassan, who hosted a couple weeks ago, and his videos just are either broaching the cusp of 1 million or past it. And that's what's really important, because you have to take in account everything that someone does at once. And like Hassan has a huge group of fans. That being said, there have been, out of everybody that's guest hosted, from Wanda Sykes to Leslie Jones, Chelsea, Sarah, Hassan DL, and who else am I forgetting? Marlon and Cal. Only 2 people have openly stated, I want this job. And it's been Kal Penn and Chelsea Handler. And if you look at, if we just look at those 2 people separately, Chelsea, they're just wildly different comedic styles. Chelsea can really rile up a crowd and get them on her side. And she can deliver opinions about news. Which is something that, in late night is tough, because it's supposed to be objectionary, right or wrong, and everything's supposed to be up for grabs. You see Seth Meyers repeatedly pulling out the Joe Biden falling up the stairs joke, the video clip, and you see Colbert taking on Trump. Like it's all, everybody's supposed to be making fun of everybody, essentially. And I think Chelsea really has a sharp tact ability to do that. And I enjoy that. I like Chelsea. I like Cal too. The thing is with him is he's a little bit more serious, a little bit more. I don't want to put, a delivery mechanism of dry. Like that's not something either of them are, because Chelsea she kind of hits you with a hammer with her jokes, and Cal kind of hits you with a screwdriver. If that makes any sense, which it doesn't to me, and I will not say anything more to help that out. But Cal, I think he did a good job, good enough, especially for the week of things that he had. But again, to come out with a Biden interview, and it's not, you would kind of expect it to have 1 million views. I like if Hassan or Leslie interviewed Biden. I don't want to choose the other person of. I don't want to choose the other brown person who is similar background to Cal. I just want to say somebody else. But if either one of them interviewed Biden, then it would be a bigger thing. He even got a tour of the White House. It was a whole episode of The Daily Show. It should have been a bigger hit, is what I'm saying. For me, it was good. It was good. It was great. It was a good interview. And Kal really showed himself to be a good interviewer. But where does that leave the show? Again, he's not auditioning, but he has said that he wants to be the new host of the show. So now we have to take this, okay, this might be an audition. And did he do enough? I think so. And then compared to, Chelsea, is that enough to take on the show? And then, what if Hassan really is somebody that they're looking at because he's been part of the family before? The family. All right, let's move on. Jimmy Kimmel hosted the Oscars this past Sunday, and it was great. Now he's doing a week of work. Yeah, hold on, let me put a bar on that. It was great, save for all of the Will Smith jokes. That was, come on, very lazy, especially coming from a host who I'm almost positive does not have any people of color on his staff, except for Guillermo and Lou, who is technically a writer, but also the announcer of the show, the new announcer of the show. I just felt like it was lazy and I mean, yeah, sure, you can make a couple of jokes, but then move on, dude. Don't let the whole night be about that. Because I know you don't know any people of color, with the exception of Lou and Guillermo. Speaking of Jimmy, the first monologue on Monday night, it was good to see him do 16 minutes talking about the Oscars, everything that happened the night before. It was a very fun and engaging thing. And he just recapped everything that happened. And we saw some funny bits that they did with Guillermo, who always hits the red carpet. Guillermo's just such an incredible person. Every famous person should want to stop to talk to him. Like, there are times where Guillermo hits the red carpet and like, he'll be like, Selma Hayek, and Selma won't come over. No, everybody should want to stop to. Even Nicole Kidman came by. Come on. To see Hong Chow, Haley Bailey. Is it Haley Bailey or Halle Bailey? I don't know. I don't really care. Florence Pugh. She did a shot. People doing shots of tequila. Come on. John Cho. I really like it all. And then Owen Wilson. This is the first episode, and we'll get this is the topic, which is like the perfect week. We'll get into that in a second. But Owen Wilson came by to talk about a movie he's doing. I think it was the Paint movie. What was it? Paint, about the Bob Ross-esque movie. And Owen Wilson came by and commented on a story that Ben Stiller told a couple of months ago. Hold on, let me see how far I go. Okay, I misspelled Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller, Jimmy Kimmel. About 5 months ago in New York, where his daughter's friend, where Ben Stiller's daughter's friend, found Owen Wilson's wallet in Paris. And we got the other side of the story there. Owen's just a great guest. I think he's such a funny guy, and he's so cool. Man, he's like if Woody Harrelson wasn't an anti-vaxxer. And please, Owen, if you're an anti-vaxxer, don't say anything. Jimmy Fallon on Tonight Show had a very good. The joke that I had in the monologue was there was a January 6th choir, which is real, and they put out a song with Trump, and this is something that I did not know happened, but when the monologue. This is for reference. If you watch the Tonight Show if you record it, if you watch it on Peacock, It's the Bob Odenkirk episode with Paris Hilton and Colin Morikawa, and I guess the musical guest is Asake. But the monologue for that episode was about 2 minutes longer, and it featured a very good January 6th choir parody where Trump is singing to not even covers, to the tune of popular songs like Unholy, the Sam Smith Kim Petras song, and it's obvious it's Fallon doing the Trump impression, but it was so funny, and I enjoyed it, and I wanted to look for it. I kept looking for it. I kept passing over the clip that they have up there, which is now 6 minutes and 21 seconds, but they did a white fade in between to show a passage of time in between two jokes, which stinks because I think it's really good. But anyway, the Jimmy Fallon January 6th choir parody was cut from the YouTube clip. It's under the same. I have it here in the notes, the liner notes, which are in the YouTube YouTube description or the podcast episode description. Steve Higgins names colleges participating in March Madness. They cut in the middle of that. Anyway, Higgins did participate in a monologue this week. I always find it so difficult to think that Fallon has everything at his feet. He's got the greatest late night show band in history, who participated with De La Soul, performed with De La Soul in an episode. They've performed before with other people, but to perform with De La Soul is just, man. The guys, they recently lost one of their cohorts in De La Soul, but now you can listen to all of their music on streaming, which is great. And yeah, I mean, like, so anyway, he also, Fallon has the Roots, and then he also has Steve Higgins, who is just one of the biggest producers, I would guess, in like sketch comedy. And then he's Fallon. You know, I think he's a very a guy that everybody can relate to. And he's got the Tonight Show. I just find it so strange that he has all that at his fingertips. How does one person? Okay, anyway. And then there's Kamala Harris sat down with Colbert. Am I bleeding? Kamala Harris sat down with Colbert. And I'm not, don't worry. I don't think so. Kamala Harris sat down with Colbert. And I think this is the first time she's done so. I think they even mentioned it in her interview. Since she's gotten that position. And then Bad Bunny did carpool karaoke. And he apparently, I did not watch the video yet, but I'm including it because he's Bad Bunny and he's one of the biggest stars right now. And apparently he did a rendition of Ariana Grande's Breathing. All right, there's that. Now, there's the topic I want to get to, is the perfect week. And in particular, two shows. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bump it up to 3. Now, the perfect week for me, for a late night show, isn't the fact that they had, you know, a great guest in every slot every night. Everything was perfect. No, a perfect week is that at least one, like every single episode has at least one or two things that interest you. It's a 45-minute show. So why not be interesting to everybody? Or interesting to me, at least. I don't know why I popped open last week tonight's YouTube tab. He talked about TAMFs. Right. First person I think had a perfect week. Jimmy Kimmel. He had a great week of guests, including Ke Huy Quan after the Oscars, Owen Wilson, Seth Rogen, Rachel Zegler, Dominique Fishback, Letterman, Andy Samberg. Just a great set of people to talk to. Unfortunately, I have to skip over Seth and The Daily Show. All right. Colbert. I'm going to actually, no, I'll put him in third place. Tonight Show. Great set of people to chat with. Odenkirk, Paris Hilton, Colin Morikawa. That's just the perfect episode right there. Especially with that monologue that was cut down. And then also, Odenkirk did a Blippi thing. Blippi is a children's show, and he did a Blippi parody, which was uncalled for, truly. Cranston, Penn Bagley from You. Darren Criss. Oh, no. That's something else. Rina Sawayama, who I love. Zachary Levi, which, I mean, you could tell who I love. Keanu Reeves. And then De La Soul and Melanie Linsky, who is, I think, a fantastic actress. And then Colbert had, let me scroll back to the top of this, Jen Psaki, another woman who I love. Regé John Page, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He had Liam Neeson do a little parody thing. Kamala Harris, Carrie Coon. When you're interested in something that happens basically every single day, that's a perfect week. Something you can enjoy, something that is fun. Because, you know, a lot of times, I hate to say it, Late Show, even though it's on its last legs, you can have 3 people on the couch or 2 megastars on the couch, and it's just no one's going to be watching. I wonder, today's Thursday, and essentially everything from an episode should be uploaded onto YouTube. I'm looking at the Late Show page, and there are from clips from episodes, and they don't even add up to the 40 or so minutes. And the same thing I can say about the rest of these shows too. I wish they would just upload everything more or less, and then just chop it up. That's kind of what the Daily Show does. Because if I go to Kal Penn's first episode, we've got the what's it called? The Biden interview broken up into essentially into 18 minutes, and then he's got the tour that's 4 minutes, and then the monologue, which is 7. So that's roughly the 40-minute episode length. I mean, all the Daily Show runs between 24 minutes and 40 minutes sometimes, or 45, depending. Even though they have that entire 45-minute time slot. Anyway, that's a perfect week. Everybody had, well, not everybody, a lot of people have great shows. But then, you know, Seth had on people like Jason Sudeikis, and Nicole Byer. And then there was a bit with Ben Warheit, one of the writers, who brought his parents to the show, which was very funny. And John Oliver. John Oliver did an admirable job. It always interests me to find when the bookers are, you're in a good time period of the year when the bookers are able to find people to talk about. I mean, talk about their projects. Thank goodness for streaming, because now you're able to have a bunch of things to talk about versus before you have to dig deep to find something in the summer. Which is my favorite. This is going to be the sequel to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Something in the Summer. That might be the title of the episode. Something in the Summer. Okay. What else is going on in the world of late night? I mean, that's it, truly. I have nothing else to talk about. The perfect week. Hey, speaking of perfect, head over to, if you want to see a video version of the show, youtube.com/C+comedy, where you can see me sitting in the same shirt that I recorded LinkedIn Logs in. It's great. It's a flail. It's raining. As if that's the excuse. And you can also see the video versions of... Go. Go. You can also see video versions of the other podcasts, LinkedIn Logs and the Constitutionals. LinkedIn Logs is the LinkedIn Influencer podcast where I try to become the #1 influencer on LinkedIn. The Constitutionals is the Entertainment Business News podcast where I talk about entertainment business news. As well, you can also find News Time on youtube.com/C+comedy, where I sit down and I take a story and I talk about it. You can find all of the podcasts wherever you find podcasts. You can follow us on social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, @C+comedy. Follow me on those at Chad Black White. Just wink to the cat. Oh, she winked back to me. Ah, that was cool. Yeah. Even though I just spanked her and told her to get out of here. She keeps rubbing on my leg at the odd moments. All right. Rate, review, tell your friends about this. What else? Is that it? Yeah, I have interviews, most recent interviews with India Day Beaufort and Stephanie Weir from Night Court. Hopefully we have some more coming up. We'll see. I just got some emails. We'll see. R.I.P. to Lance Reddick. Passed away. Very good actor. Here we go. We're leaving. Goodbye.